Scuderia Ferrari Racing News welcomes you to a new issue from Moscow, where Moscow City Racing is taking place. For the first time, Ferrari participates in the event. Stefano Domenicali told us about the Scuderia and his expectations for the German Grand Prix.
For sure, the victory in Silverstone was an important moment of this season. More important because it was also connected to our first victory 60 years ago with Gonzalez on the same track. We know that Ferrari cannot really be happy on winning just one race, but at least it was important for the morale of all the people and to make sure that everyone feel, this pleasant atmosphere on being successful. No, I don't think so. Don't forget that in the last 18 years, Ferrari always won at least one Grand Prix. 18 years in a row means a lot. I don't think that a lot of teams can achieve this result. I think that we don't have to look at the peak of the classification. We need to, race by race, make sure that our performance will be at the highest standard. We want to win, of course, some other races. We know that it's difficult because the competition is very, very strong. And then we will see later on what will be the outcome of the championship. But at the moment, we don't see over there. Just fight race by race. I would say that the first 3 months, the vote was very, very bad, negative. The second part, I would say the second part of the first half season was better, because for sure we could have won more than one race. But I think that considering where we are, has to be a vote that is sufficient. And let's hope that in the second half of the season, the vote will be much higher. I think that the project is going very, very well. Luca Baldisseri and his people are working very hard to make sure that all the drivers that are working and growing in this academy are doing the best job that they can. From Lance Stroll, that is driving on the karting 12 years old, from Brando Maisano and Raffaele Marcello on the Formula 3 in the Italian Championship, up to Jules Bianchi GP2 and Sergio Perez in Formula 1. They're all doing, I think, a great job. It's not easy. In September there will be another step of this activity where they will use a 2009 Formula 1 car in Mugello, and they will add some more experience that for sure will be very valuable for their different future.
Just before the German Grand Prix, Pat Fry commenced the first win of Ferrari in 2011 by Fernando at Silverstone.
Well, obviously it was great to get a victory. I mean, there's been a lot of hard work going on for the last 3 or 4 months trying to close the gap, and it's good to see all that hard work that everyone's put in pay off. No, not really. I mean, it shows that we've been understanding the problems, we're going in the right direction. We're continuing developing the car as quickly as we can, and each step we make improves our understanding, and that will carry on even to next year's car as well. There's quite a few more updates for Nürburgring, and then one update for Hungary. So we're keeping the pressure on everyone, trying to develop as quickly as we can, particularly before the summer break. Well, it's fantastic getting my first win as technical director. I think it's not so much the country. For me, it's more how challenging the circuit is. It's a circuit which really I wasn't expected to suit our car as well as the others. We've been closing the gap through Canada, Monaco, Canada, Valencia. I think particularly the last 2 circuits there favour our car, the performance characteristic of our car. Silverstone is a lot more challenging, and to come away with a victory there, I mean, it just shows everyone's hard work's paying off, which is great to see. Yes, I mean, there is, yeah, I mean, the passion that everyone has is fantastic, I have to say, so yeah, it was a good feeling. Nürburgring, in a way, is yeah, a little bit similar to Silverstone. You know, there's long duration corners, maybe more medium speed than high speed, and it's trying to find a balance through those corners is a little bit difficult. It's less of the sort of brake, turn, accelerate type circuits of Canada and Valencia. We haven't analysed the numbers yet. Yeah, the DRS zone, you've got to follow someone closely through the high-speed corner onto the back straight, which will be a little bit of a challenge, but I would think at 1 second gap it should be relatively easy. I say we haven't actually analysed the length of the straight yet to see exactly how easy it's going to be. I mean, I would think it's going to be similar to Silverstone more than the likes of Canada and Valencia. Well, I mean, I think for our car, the soft tyres work very well. We struggled in Barcelona on the hard tyre. I think we've made some, we've got a lot of understanding. We think we've made some improvements. I think our qualifying pace on the hard tyre at Silverstone was the match of others. So again, I think that shows, for one lap we're on top of things. We're yet to see if we've actually got the long run place on the hard tyre. Obviously on the soft tyre at Silverstone, our pace once the tyres are warmed up was quite a lot better than most of the others. So I think we're on top of the soft tyre performance. Hard tyres we need to work at. For Nürburgring we've got the soft and the medium. Which again I think that is a sensible choice for that nature of track. For Hungary, I think it's soft and super soft, which again I think for there it's sensible really. I mean I think the interesting thing in Hungary will be the temperature. So sometimes you can go there and it's 20 degrees, sometimes you can go there and it's sort of 35 or so, and I think it's towards the high end there at the moment. That can get a bit challenging for the thermal degradation of the tyres. But again, I suppose our car, if anything, works better on it doesn't load the tyres quite as much, and thermally we don't degrade the tyres as much as others.
Fernando Alonso and Felipe Massa and their preparation to the Nürburgring race.
Yeah, Nürburgring is a special place. We know the history of Nürburgring and the old track as well. I wonder 2 times. Germany is a country that, from Michael's success, etc., is great for Formula One, and you have a lot of fans there. It's a special race for Ferrari as well, with all the grandstands in red, etc. So I think it can be an interesting race. You have a circuit that is medium high-speed corners that you need a car that it changes direction very quickly because there are so many changes of direction. Good on the curbs that you use in all these chicanes. So it's a very interesting race and looking forward. Yeah, I drove obviously a road car only in the old Nürburgring. It's a very special place. I think it's also difficult to imagine to drive now today's Formula One cars there because the circuit has some very big bumps and banking on the corners, things like that. But it's a special place, and I think we know that part of the history in Formula One has done in that circuit as well. So we feel this special atmosphere in the Nürburgring weekend.
I think it's a nice track. It's a track that you have all kinds of corners, high speed, slow corners, very slow corners, some important change of directions, some medium speed corners that you need a good car. Uphill, downhill, I think it's important to have a car which works in all these kind of corners, and hope we have a good weekend on the way back to Nürburgring after 2 years. Yeah, a couple of times. It's a fantastic track, a track that has an incredible history. The way of the corners are, the way of the drivers used to drive on this kind of corners and this kind of track is really unbelievable. And hope I go back and I drive again on this track. and still remember all the path from Formula 1 and from all the categories in this track. But anyway, I hope we have a good weekend in Nürburgring. Also to have a second part of the season better than the first one. Yeah, I remember it was a very competitive battle. I hope we have another one without touching this time, but I hope we have another battle, another good race, fighting for first and second, which is you know, what we want. And as well, as I said, I mean, having a good result and a good job in this track, and thinking about the second part of the season.
Nürburgring is a very charming track in the Black Forest. Marc Genet tells us about the circuit.
German Grand Prix, it usually is a very difficult race to manage with the weather, because weather is right in the middle of the mountains and it can really change from day by day. It's a track with 2 or 3 areas very difficult to manage for the drivers, especially the first one is turn 1. First turn is blind, really low speed from 7th to 1st gear, very easy to lock up and even have a flat spot, but it's a very good place for overtaking. And then the whole circuit is very much uphill and downhill. So it's a nice track, we like going to Nürburgring, despite the weather conditions being difficult and despite some of the corners which are difficult for visibility aspects.
Here in Moscow, Giancarlo Fisichella is the protagonist of Scuderia Ferrari exhibition at Moscow City Racing.
It's a fantastic event in Moscow. With the first time Ferrari came here in Moscow, thanks to even to Kaspersky, which is our sponsor, and the collaboration with Moscow is fantastic. They did a fantastic job with the organization, especially. There are lots of people around the circuit. It's great. Unfortunately, the weather was not good, but now maybe for the last session we will try the dry tires. It's fantastic to drive Ferrari everywhere, to drive Ferrari especially today in Moscow. It's amazing. Anytime I drive Ferrari I feel so exciting, and even today it's great. As you know, it's not possible to do testing between the first race and the last race. So we do the simulator. We are in contact with the engineers. We try to, you know, to keep development of the car sooner and quicker possible. In fact, in the last race with the new package, Ferrari was able to win. They did a fantastic race. So hopefully it's just the start for the next for the rest of the championship.
And with this, we came to the end of Scuderia Ferrari Racing News. See you next time!